Cool. Let's get it. Ooh, if that closes green. Call this one the 630 fake out. Can be nice. Big candle though. Nope. So I have noticed if the 5-minute candle, the first 5-minute candle on this on the US30, if it closes like this, but say it's green, like a big long wick, just like a big fake out, it has a pretty good chance of continuing 1-to-1. About 60, 65, it depends. But it's gotta close green to go long, of course. Basic setup here. I got my MT4 ready to place live trades. Nice little risk tool here. And then trading view, just because I just like the view of trading view better. Yeah, this is a nice little tool. Shows me the 5-minute range, so it's just created down here. This is yesterday's anchored view app. I can probably get rid of that. I'm throwing on the anchored view app lately from the US Open, just because I'm starting to notice price reacts to it, and I want to see if I can throw something into the playbook based off of it. Right on. Nice little level. You can draw these as boxes too, but I just know they can be ranges. They're not going to be exact points. Yeah, let's poke around for fun to see how these look. Yeah, nice. I don't trade the 1 minute, but I'm just clicking to the 1 minute just to. I'm just observing how price moves to this anchored VWAP. I've been noticing it. It's nice, but I definitely like the 5 minute better. So I was clicking on to see. I just like to see how stuff reacts. I like to see what happens when it, things like this create a little double top. How does price react? But in general, anytime I try to go to the 1 minute, it's too messy. There's too much noise. Anyways, right on. It's kind of ignoring the VWAP right now. Doesn't even care it's there. That's one little reject off of it. Oh, could be a second reject off of it. Cool. So the primary play I'm waiting for right now is, I call it the 630 opening range breakout. So I'm waiting for price to open and close outside of this 5 minute range. Can you imagine if that was the only thing you traded? It would be so stress free. That'd be awesome. But I am looking for some other stuff. There's a few other plays I've back tested. Seems like the plays I trade, they all have around a 60-ish% win rate. It can go up, it can go down. So I kind of came to a place where instead of waiting religiously for my one play to happen, if I get, like a tweezers double bottom on the 5 minute, that's my brother-in-law's favorite. Works well for him. So I've been looking at that a lot. And yeah, it's hard to explain. Sometimes I'll get other things like, let's say it comes up to this FVG and it just has a huge top wick, like it rejects the zone. I don't want to pass up on that. That might be my one trade for the day. I need to get some power on this computer. Very nice. I find Fridays to be the slowest mornings. Well, this will put me to sleep. Let's change this. See, this is cool. So I'm not taking this trade, but I'm observing what's going on right here. See these two wicks that rejected the VWAP? I just want to see what it does. So I am not taking this trade. I just want to see. So if you took the first one, just stop below the low. I just want to see. We're just looking for one-to-ones. I like to go for one-to-one, keep my win rate up. If you go to a 2R, 3R, it's guaranteed your win rate will drop, right? And with prop firms, the whole game is to reduce drawdown. So I wanted it as consistent as possible. So yeah, I'm just taking a look. And then in this case, you got a double wick. And let's just see if it blows through it. I just want to see that play out. I want to see if there's any validity to the 1 minute time frame off the VWAP. Let's just see. And if I start seeing it more and more and more, that's where I need to go into backtesting mode and give it a run and see what happens if I focused on the 1 minute. And maybe you create a rule. Like I'd probably say 6:45 onward. I find the beginning to be quite choppy. So I mean, technically 6:45 you wouldn't be allowed yet, but this is how you do it. You just gotta find a little system that you like, makes sense to you, and rock it. You. You wouldn't have got stopped out yet, but you probably will. And then for you trend traders, it would have been counter trend. So, but honestly, if you're still discovering your edge, like take a look at things like this. Like just observe what happens when you get two top wicks like that. I don't know. Take a look. It's in the trend. But whatever it is, you just got to build a system around it. If you start winging it, which I've done, well, this looks good, this looks good, this looks good. You're just all over the place. Wow, this is a slow go Friday. MIDI setup. Just researching a few of my specs on live streaming here. It's the first one. Welcome. I'm just seeing what's going on for fun. I don't trade these pairs. Wow. If you're a gold trader, nice movement. Cool. Yeah, nice, man. Nice. Not much on US30. I mean, if you were a support and resistance trader, supply and demand only. Nice little rejection there, or liquidity sweep, whatever the heck you want to call it. There was lots of rejection going on there, but it's not one of my plays. I heard one trader say, great trade, but it ain't my trade. That's the hard thing to come to terms with, is like, there can be great trades out there, but if it's not your trade, if it's not part of your plan, it's essentially a bad trade for you. Like it's entering uncharted territories, like uncharted waters. You know, like you're allowing yourself to now go take something essentially random, or put it on your playbook before you start trading. If you go, man, I've seen this so many times, why is this not on my playbook? Great. Add it to the playbook. Like, that's where I started noticing this. If we did some backtesting, this candle, if it was green, I've seen it play out. I know that if you took every one of those, in the long run, you'll be profitable. Sometimes they even work when they're red, say going long, but especially if they're green. Within that 5 minutes, price pushes down and closes within that 5 minutes all the way back up. So on the 1 minute, it would look like a huge V shape. You can do well on the US30. I don't know about any other pairs. I just focus on the US30. Dude, this is a chill day on the US30. I'm not gonna lie, this is where sometimes I am tempted to go to the 1 minute to see if I can find something off there, but absolutely not. So that would not have worked. Fun fact on this trade. But here becomes the caveat on that, or the thing to consider. It didn't work this time. But no one can say that taking a nice rejection wick off the VWAP, the anchored VWAP, no one can say it doesn't work until you've proven it doesn't work. You backtest it, man. That's just it. Because I have backtested things that, oh man, like people would think are so silly, but I've backtested and shown, I've quantified, and not subjective backtesting where you go, oh, I'd take that one, I wouldn't take that one. Like factual testing, like my strategy I trade, where I go, when price opens and closes outside the VWAP, I take it with the stop here, the profit loss here. You can quantify that data and go, whoa, it's got 60% win rate. Whoa, that's 4% a month. Whoa, that's $8,000 on a 200K. There's something here, and it's stress-free, non-second guessing trading. This is nice. We're in a downtrend, and that's the first 5 minute rejection I've seen off the VWAP. That's cool. It's not officially in my playbook yet, but very nice. This one's kind of weird. I'm gonna change the song. People going live at the market stop of the 5-minute range. It's kind of fun to see that stuff. Like, what are the chances it kind of dips there and pulls up? Some manipulation right there, man. Some liquidity sweeping. Let's see what the one looks like for fun. Oh yeah, nice. That's where, again, if you're trying to find your edge, and honestly, just pick something that makes sense in your brain and a pattern you start seeing. If you're using the 5-minute range, I mean, there'd be 3 versions you could trade. One is, no, I guess 4. Price breaks it, you get in. Not usually the best. A lot of fake outs. Price closes outside and you get in. It's good. Again, you'll have some winners on other days. Like, you have a mix of winners and losses that the other version won't have. Like, you'll catch more trades, but you'll also have a lot more fake outs. And then, yeah, it was my brother-in-law's a trader. He tipped me off about wait for it to open and close. So you'll see price close out here, and then another candle open and close outside the range. Tends to be some nice follow through on that. But a fourth, which would take a lot of patience, you'd increase your win rate, but you'd get way less trades. Is the same thing, but it has to retest. That zone. Price comes out, test that, and continues on. What if you get? That's where you have to start to do math. What if you get? What if that gives you like 5 trades a month at 80% win rate? Or if I take my version, you get 20 trades a month usually, 60% win rate. Which one makes more money? You have to go do the math. Yep. See if I can figure that out. So if you had 5 trades a month, 5 times 80%. Oh, that's funny. It's the exact same. An 80% win rate, 5 trades a month, is 4% a month. And 20 trades a month, because there's roughly 20 trading days, times 60% win rate. Oh no, I did that wrong. That's 12 minus your losses. 12. Okay, so you'd give you 12 winning trades minus the 8 losing trades is 4%. That's right. Let's go back to the other one. 5 trades times 80%. 4 of them would be winners. Oh, interesting. Minus the 1 loss. So you'd make 3% a month. Fascinating. 5 trades a month, 80% win rate. You'd make 3% a month. On average. It's an average. Not every month will be the same. And then, yeah, 1 trade a day, 20 trades total for the month. 60% win rate. 4% a month. The only difference is the guy with the 80% win rate, he'll have a lot more consistency. He'll have way less drawdown. So that's still ideal. Just you don't get a lot of trades and a lot of patience. I'm not very patient. Well, this will put you to sleep. Let's find some upbeat. I need something upbeat. What's this one? This album's called Slaps. Yeah, too slow, man. Look at this one. This looks energetic. All right. Wow. This is the slowest day I've ever seen. What a way to start my first stream. So just a fun observation. Can you build a strategy around this? I don't know. On the 1 minute, say you waited till you're 6:45. What do you got? I'm just noticing these rejection wicks. So if you took these early and you considered that good enough, these 3 right here, you would have got stopped out. If you waited for a solid red bar that actually touched the VWAP and rejected, you would have got a 1-to-1. Dude, no one can say that's a bad play. It's all just opinion. But opinion gets annihilated once you have the facts. Go test this. Go test this. Right? Another guy, he's waiting for the sweep. There could be a guy, I'm looking for the opening range breakout. He's looking for the opening range liquidity sweep. And he took his long. Dude, I don't know. Who's to say who's right? The guy who took both of these today is up 2%. Yeah. I might have to jump into some back testing if this is going to be this long. Get a signal. Ooh, nice. This is a nice one. The song, not the trade. I'm adding this to my playlist. Let's go. Normally, my trade is done by this time. Usually my trade's quick, like pretty quick in the day. This is gnarly. You see how though once, oops, what did I just click? Once it gets going, I just wouldn't even need MT4 open right now. Once this gets going, man, the anchored VWAP, look in the beginning. It doesn't really expect it too much. Sometimes it does. But once it gets going, there's something there, man. But I need to back test it. Need to test it. What is that little thing? Yo, you want to see some back testing? If anyone's made it this far on the stream. Oh, there's my YouTube channel. Alright, man. There's my desktop. Seems that there's nothing happening on the... Wait, let me just make sure. You know what? I'm going to open up TradingView on my phone and just make sure I keep an eye on it. But I want to show you this backtesting. If somebody's watching and you're not backtesting, this is how I do it, man. You can use FX Replay, or, because that costs money, it's a great tool. I love FX Replay. Like, it's a really good tool. I'm just a little bit thrifty, a little bit cheap. So you can just set up an Excel sheet, man. And if you're not Excel savvy, I could show you how to set up this stuff, but it's pretty easy. And I just test it. I just add a date and I go, okay, let's pick something systematic. Because if it's subjective, it's hard to test, man. Like, it's really hard to test if it's not systematic. Like, if you're gonna say, when price rejects off a supply and demand zone, what does that mean? Like what does that mean? I think you have to break it down further. If I have a wick, if there's a candle that wicks off the supply zone and then I wait for price to break the low of that candle, okay, cool. That's pretty. But even the wick off the supply zone, your head will start to pick and choose which one's on your back testing. So you'll be very, very careful with that. Anyways, I've been just testing. This is my 630 fake out I was talking about. I don't think I was testing it during this section. So it's a little bit sloppy right now, but you'd be up 1% off that 630 fake out. But I've got other testing. I think it was more on FX Replay. I had some files and I was like, whoa, it seems like 65, 70%. This is the 5 minute. So I just like to see, my brain wants to see the facts. I want to know to not take this strategy. This one is when price opens and closes outside of the 5 minute range, and I take it no matter what. If it's in the color that I want, say red going short, I want to know that that one only has a, what's this is for column E? That one's not very good. You'd be up 1% for the year. That's no good. Okay? But I want to know the data so that when I'm tempted to take it, I go, no. It's not a good idea. What's the next one? This one is where someone could say, yeah, there's some subjectivity there, but not a lot. I pretty much I've done a lot of this back testing where I know when to say there's no way I would take that live. If it's got, let's say it closes red outside the range and it's got a huge wick in the direction I don't want it to be. So this skips those ones. It skips horribly, like a doji candle. Why would you want to take a doji candle short? You know, like if it's going down in dojis, that's a sign of stalling, right? So that one, this one would be up. This is not right. That's the wrong note on there. This is linked to column. It's too early right now. Column F. So this is the primary when I'm trading. You know what 1200 represents? 12%. Yep, you'd be up 12% in 2025. So anyone who goes, that's not a strategy, that's not ICT, that's not smart money concepts, bro, it just is what it is. Now that's over almost 3 months. So what are you at? 4% a month. 4% on 100K is $4,000. 4% on a 200K is $8,000. You just need enough capital. And the beauty about this one is there's not much thinking involved. Before I go back to the chart, this is the 7 a.m. I almost passed a 200K. I was one trade away from passing a 200K one time. Simply trading the first nice looking, so subjective, engulfing candle on the 5 minute time frame after 7 o'clock. And I had the data to quantify that if you did it before 7 o'clock, wasn't as consistent. But if you waited till 7, did well. Recently, not as well. Which one's column G? Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, you'd be up. Had a nice stretch there on the last chunk of back testing. But you know what's powerful about this? Okay? New or experienced traders. This data is what you can look at. When you're in this section of trading, look at this. When you're in this section, look at all these red trades and you're down, what's the max? You're down 6%, you're down 7%, and you're like, why am I still doing this? What am I doing? Look what just comes. A couple weeks later, you're up 5% on top of, right? On top of the 7% drawdown. You're up $1,000 and you never blew the count once this year. So just the most incredible strategy? No. But it's a strategy that doesn't require a lot of patience. It's a strategy that you can factually check off that you did your job that day. It's a strategy that doesn't promote confusion or overanalyzing or, yeah, just for some people this worked really well. You could pretty much almost program it as an algorithm. But then I think there's still a human element to it that can help. These are just, again, side notes. I'm just watching. On my backtesting days, I just want to see what happens. I won't go into the details of these, but that's how I backtest, man. Got tons of other ones. I don't know if you can see that on the stream. Got a bunch more down here. Rock on. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tempted on this double bottom here. If that closes green, never would consider it. If it closes red, wouldn't even remotely consider it. But just the way it's trading today. Yeah, absolutely not. But let's say that closed green. Dude, I don't know, man. That'd be pretty sick. How does it feel that if you didn't take any trades today, you're alive? Some guys would have blown their count by now. It's the name of the game, man. Oops, where was that? Where was that? Oops, sorry guys. Staying alive, man. Staying alive. You know what? This area, I really do want the box. There's just a lot going on there. There's a lot of wickage going on there. A lot of wicks. There's a lot of wicks in that area. With that being said, this is where this gets tough. My original play that I'm focused on right now is the opening and closing of the 5 minute outside this range. But it's hitting a zone that I don't like. This gets tough. This is where I should have some crazy factual rules that no matter what you do this, or you build into your playbook. If it's hitting a zone like that, I don't do it. Yeah, see all this tapping in here. Well, let's see what happens. We've still got 3.5 minutes on this candle. But just in case, I'm going to prep my little tool. This is a killer tool for a MT4. How do I plus this? How do I make it bigger? How do I make? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, nice one. Dude, I'm telling you, MT4 is the worst. It really is. Yeah, so this is not looking remotely. Although if that closed green, this is where it's gotta be ready on the fly. Like, there's a lot of room back to VWAP. It's hitting this zone. If that closed with a big wick and green, I'll probably take it. And win or lose, I will keep my head held up high. That I was patient. That I waited for something that made sense. This is where you got to be kind of ready on the fly. Oh, this tool. Sometimes it's not the greatest. It's not a perfect tool. Not a perfect tool, but at the moment, this would be what I'm looking at. At the moment. And you know what? Dude, we're just playing the odds. Have I personally backtested this exact looking candle on supply zones? No, but I've seen it a number of times. We're gonna have controlled risk. Now if it closes too high, like up into the VWAP, no bueno, man, no bueno. Because I find that can be a rejection, but what would this look like for fun? This is why I like having both platforms. Ooh, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know, man. It has to push over VWAP, and just look at the rejections there. Like, this is a tough one. But see, if it creates a big wick like this, heck no. Like, heck no, it's rejecting outside that range. Wait for the closure, man. See what it looks like. But it would be sick if it all of a sudden it just ripped it down and closed red. And that's my 5 minute opening breakout strategy. That'd be nice. Sometimes I just like to see again what we're doing. Ah, that's nice, bro. That's a nice little zone. You know what? What do we have here? 25 seconds. I think I'm doing it. Sometimes I like to think of the perspective too, like the VWAP. If you take that away, I don't know, it looks pretty nice. Let's see how this closes. I think we're taking it. Yep, I feel good about that. So let's enter in. You know what I'm gonna do though? I'll wait for the top. Wait for the break. Wait for the break. If it doesn't break, Sometimes it's stop loss here. Drag the stop loss there. Rock and roll. So if I wasn't on stream, this is massive for newer traders. I shouldn't even say that. It's for newer traders or for anybody struggling to be profitable. Shut her down. This is where you shut her down. What's the point of watching this drawdown or watching the win and getting excited and then it turns around and hits you in a loss and your emotions are flying? So if I'm trading alone, I normally just shut her down. I don't want to watch the P&L. But what I normally do is just make sure I go, so 70, I like to set like a 1-to-1. What was that, 70, 71, 71. Yeah, something like that. So it does have to get above VWAP, which is, it's not amazing, that's for sure. Like I'm requiring it to push through all this VWAP. However, I like that wick. I like that green candle. Again, ultra conservative, higher win rate. You wait for a retest on that. But when you go to the bigger time frame, and again, bigger time frame is just a different view of the exact same thing. You could zoom out on the 5 minutes, see the same thing, but dude, come on. That is awesome. That's sweet. I love that. So, that's the play, man. And we commit to it. We don't second guess. We don't. If you start moving things around, getting out early because you're not sure, this is all just emotions. And if you trust your emotions, you're guaranteed to fail in trading. It's game over. So, I'll keep the stream going because it's my first stream. But normally I would shut her down. And sometimes I won't even look at the result till hours later. Just emotionally disconnect yourself. It's a little funky music. What's going on here? Yeah, man, we'll see what happens. But this is, again, where you gotta pick your own strategy. Like, right now, one guy is saying, oh, we're in a downtrend. You can't take that trade. Okay, but another guy is saying, look, we're hitting a supply zone. I'm getting in. The guy who took a limit order at the supply zone, he won. He's already pretty much in his winning trade. If he took a whatever, anywhere in this zone with a 20 pip stop, he's already close to profit. But again, like some guys say, oh, it's got to come down here, and then it's got to go up, and then it's got to retest, and it's got to break that high. You can do that. That might not happen till an hour and a half from now. I gotta go to work, bro. All right, I might cut the stream off. Let's cut it off. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you. And we might have a winner, we might have a loser. It's doing well now, but we'll see. All right, peace out.